BlackBusters.
What's cracking with a fan bam? I am Bigg Jah, and this is BlackBusters, the best film podcast in the world.
In the world.
Yes, indeed.
This
is our first episode, but it's going to be the best. I mark my word, you know. I'm here with my co-host, Brother Tone.
Yes, sir. Very happy to be here.
Yes, sir. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm very happy to be here
Yes,
to
sir.
talk about black films with
Yes,
you.
indeed. We're here to celebrate, discuss black cinema, man. It's one of my favorite things to talk about in the world, bro.
Yeah.
I could talk about movies, especially black films, all day, every day. And that's what we're here to do, man. So
I think it's so dope, man, because black movies sit with us differently,
facts.
right? Like
Yeah.
they come off the shelf differently. Lines from movies are a part of our vernacular.
Mhm.
You know, you can
Right.
really
You just did one.
Yes,
I'm very happy to be here.
You can
Right,
judge
right,
a
right.
man by the lines he uses from black movies, right?
Exactly,
Like, you know, and if he doesn't have a good catalog. So I just think I'm just very excited to go on this journey with you, man, as
Hell
we
yeah.
you know, re-engage and rewatch these movies. It's gonna be a good thing.
Hey, man, I think so, bro. This is I'm excited because this is what shaped me as a man. I'm gonna keep it 100. Other than my parents, of course, but like, you know, I've been watching movies, TV since I was a little boy, and so my personality, the things I say, a lot of people, you know, my vocabulary, I've learned so much, and I've been influenced so much by a lot of these films that we're gonna discuss, and I'm juiced. Yeah, I should have been did this, man.
I think it's probably obvious, but would you say that this is part of the reason why you're a filmmaker now?
100%.
Right.
100%. You feel me? Yeah. I went to film school for that reason. I grew up watching the I won't even discuss movies yet, names yet, but you know, all the classics. We're gonna talk about all of them over the course of this season. Yeah, man, it definitely influenced me. I'm a filmmaker because of all the movies that we're gonna discuss.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Like, again, you just spend so much time with these movies. And you know, we'll be talking about movies from all eras, but especially, you know, a lot of these movies predate the internet, you know, predate a lot of that stuff.
Before social media, all that.
So you watched them 8, 9, 10 times, right? And then there were characters that either you saw yourself in or you saw in other people.
Yep.
And there were narratives. Sometimes, you know, these movies would talk about things that like were kind of uncomfortable that you couldn't talk about with your parents.
Right.
But these movies were a bridge to talk about things. It's like you said, like
Absolutely.
how to talk to girls, how to be a man, how to not get killed. You know what I mean?
Right.
All of these
all
things.
That, you know what I'm saying? The blueprint of life sometimes.
Come out in the films, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, man, exactly. I definitely want to, I can't wait to talk about some, of course, all these films I talk about are ones I love for the most part. And that's not true because we're gonna talk about some movies that we don't like. And you know what I'm saying? You know, it happens. But we're gonna do all that.
None of these movies, as I've been going through, like, I haven't come across the perfect rewatch, the one that off the shelf and goes, this 100% has aged.
I came close, but
right. We've gotten close, but I think we're going to have fun with it, right? We're going to nitpick. We're going to, you know, we've got specific categories and awards. So you guys are in for a treat. You guys are 100% in for a treat. If you like black movies, you're going to love this podcast.
Absolutely, bro. This is dope. I can't wait to get it going. And y'all just going to join us on this ride. Feel me?
So why don't you introduce the first film?
The first film, speaking of almost perfect films, in my opinion, man.
That's high praise.
Yeah, perfect rewatch, almost. Almost, because we're going to break it down.
Right.
Man, bomb. Love Jones, homie.
Love Jones.
Love Jones. Everybody who's anybody, especially in our community, knows Love Jones is damn near, it's a hood classic. It's an instant classic for me. For when it first came out, it hit the scene, everybody loved it.
Yep.
And if you didn't, you're a loser.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Love Jones. I love the film. I watched it way back. It came out in 97.
Film came out in 97
Yeah.
on New Line Cinema.
New Line.
Big shout outs to New Line.
Shout out to New Line
They
Cinema.
were putting out the classics.
And speaking of the classics,
Yeah.
they don't make movies like that no more, man.
This is true.
They don't. And that's why,
This is
hopefully
true.
I could be a part of that new wave of filmmakers that bring back dope ass black cinema.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And, love stories, funny comedies, parodies, everything. So I want to do it all. So
film comes out in 97.
yeah.
New Line Cinema. We have pretty much I would say a star-studded cast, right?
Yeah.
Especially from our community. We got Larenz Tate,
Bam.
Darius Lovehall, Nia Long playing Nina Mosley.
Yeah.
Isaiah Washington is Savon. Bill Bellamy,
It's Hollywood.
Wood,
Buster ass Wood.
Litter Reynolds is Eddie Coles, right?
Uh-huh.
And so it basically starts out with a love story, right?
Yeah,
Like, it starts out in a poetry
Mhm.
lounge, and
Right.
then meet, make up, break up, shenanigans, sex,
smash,
smash,
motorcycle rides,
right,
no helmet.
It's too much,
Right. You know, it's the 90s, nigga, they had no helmet on, nigga. He had a leather jacket on. That's all you
Right.
need back in the 90s.
Oh, the leather jacket.
Yeah.
The oversized leather jacket made
That
a
nigga
strong
had a trench
appearance.
coat for no reason. It was a blazer trench coat, leather jacket.
Absolutely. So tell me why you love this movie.
Man, because I feel it was so real.
Yeah.
It's so relatable, man. Even though when I watched it, I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So as I got older, I would always refer back to, man, Love Jones was just like this. You know, so it's just I feel like the characters were real. And I feel like the situations were real.
Yeah.
And so I think most people were able to relate to that film because I've been there. Even though when I watched it as a kid, I wasn't in that lifestyle just yet because I wasn't dating at that level because I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got older, I found myself doing a lot of the same goofy shit they was doing in that movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Love Jones is a hit.
I graduated high school in 97. This film came out in 97.
Right.
So I'm in the dorms, and this is the first time that, like, me and all of those other freshmen, I think, had that kind of autonomy. We had our own place. We had our own dorm rooms. Freedom. Right. Love Jones was a staple. You had it on VHS. I think it was the precursor to Netflix and chill. Right. You come over, you know, you watch Love Jones, try to get something popping.
Trying to get something. You got to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to that. I got a movie that was my first Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
I tell you, we'll talk about that later. But yeah,
but
Love Jones is definitely one of them.
One of those. I think it ushered in the whole poetry movement.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I remember. Like, I don't know if I knew that poetry slams and poetry lounges existed before Love Jones.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I've never been to one until college, and they had some in college, and I was like, okay, what is this?
Yeah,
but I didn't know. I could imagine that they had them, but like, I didn't know. I'm gonna go to a poetry lounge and watch poetry and listen to it all day and all night.
This is what, to me, like, sets up my feelings about the movie and what makes it so real. So I started going to the poetry lounges too, right?
Oh, okay.
And, you know, because that's where all the women were.
Facts.
That's where all the women were, right?
Yeah.
And so if you was in the women, you want to be at the poetry lounges. But I remember feeling, in many ways, like Wood. It was a phrase I used to use. They up there poetry pimping.
Yeah,
right,
hey, bro.
Right? They up there poetry pimping. The poets would come on. Brother to the night.
Come on, man.
You know, I'm the R&B in your left leg.
Yeah.
trying to be the funk in your right.
Come on, my nigga. Girls like, and this shit, what's this?
Yeah, the that snapping. Right, and they hunting. To me, the poets, like, poetry was a trap. The same way somebody might use their car as a trap, their apartment as a trap, their looks as a trap. I felt like poetry was a trap. And so that was my first reaction was that he up there poetry pimping.
Man, so when I was in school, the first time I seen it, man, I seen some dudes on campus that I knew was out there hounding for the buns like me. And I knew they was.
Right.
And they was rappers. But rapping is poetry all off top. So we had I don't know, was it y'all who threw the poetry slams? Y'all? I'm saying y'all. I'm talking about my boy Dame, man. He's here.
Producer Dame in the building.
We went to college together,
right?
And so there were poetry events that we would go to, and I know his fraternity was always throwing events,
trapping,
you know,
trap house,
right? And I don't know if it was that though.
We did Black Women's Appreciation.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah. That was fly.
Another great trap house.
right.
Another great trap house.
They was doing it, and I was on campus by myself. I didn't throw too many events. I threw some, but mostly off-campus parties and stuff like that. But his frat was really cracking when it comes to putting out events and just being visible on campus and whatnot. But we went to these things and these poetry shows, And I know these niggas was out there like, hey, bro, the hoes is out tonight. I'm about to put this poem out. I'm about to write this poem in the bathroom, homie. And then they go from like, hey, bro, I'm up next. Oh, for sure. Hey, nigga, I'm about to get a Michelle, bro. I'm gonna knock that down tonight, bro. And she hear this. Hey, how are you? My name is brother Shaquille. And nights, moonlight down, crescendo down to the waterfalls.
So real.
And I'm like, nigga,
So
you bullshitting,
so
bro.
Real. Trapping though.
Yeah.
Trapping.
Yeah. You said poetry pimping. Absolutely.
Pimping. Now,
so I never really felt like they was really out there being sincere with the poetry. Even if you are, it just sounds so goofy to me. Me personally. When I first heard, hey man, how you doing? Yeah. And I come into the tiptoes.
Because you have to change your whole vibe.
And then you talking all low and that's not you, bro.
Right.
Yeah. Anyhow.
And and to me, that's what Larenz Tate's character was. Right? Like to me, he's not a Romeo. Right. You know, he's not I don't even necessarily know if I think he's a good person. Right. I think that he, you know, with Nina, he did what he did every night. If that lounge was every Thursday he changed the name. 1 week is a blues for Nina. Next week is a blues for Cassandra. The next week is a blues for Lisa, right? But I think he just got caught up because she was more than he could swallow.
Yeah,
she was
put that
bigger,
splash on him.
stronger, you know, finer.
Right.
Just and he got caught up.
I think he was chasing her and he finally got her and he didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas started making him breakfast. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like he got the buns first night.
Did you think the chase was realistic? Like
No.
the approach. Like that everything up until that point seemed a little far-fetched to me.
It does, however, when they first met at the bar, at the lounge, right? Yeah. There was obviously some kind of flirtation going on there.
Some sort of chemistry.
Right.
Right.
So when he did that poem, she heard it, embarrassed her, but she still liked it. Of course, her homegirl loved it. Right. And her homegirl was a perfect, messy homegirl.
Oh,
to
she
make
was
you feel
setting
good
her
or
up.
bad, whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Do it, girl.
Yeah. Josie was like, hey,
do it, girl.
Do this. Yeah. So he did that poem, and then after the end of the night, he's outside with his homies, and then she comes out with her homegirl, and she walks up to him. She could have just went home. Right. She could have ignored the fact that was a play for her, from him to her. Yes. And she obliged him by coming up to him, and then fake putting her phone number, but putting love on his hand.
She's playing the game.
She's playing the game.
She's playing the game.
So she wants him to chase. Right. So when he sees her again at the record store,
it's on. It's an opportunity.
She still's making him chase. Yeah. She gives him a little attention, and then she dips off. Turns. I forgot that she did this when she walked outside the record store. And she left him inside. She turned around to see if he was gonna follow her. Yep. And she didn't. So he didn't follow her because he thought that she. I ain't gonna be that thirsty. Right. But
and she showed awareness when he showed up at the apartment. She was like, "Yeah, I know you got the number 2."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to the lounge for a second.
Okay.
I want you to. I'm gonna be very candid. I didn't understand the poem. I was trying to follow it. You know, just a lot of it went over my head. Can you tell me what you think the blues in the left thigh trying to be the funk in the right? Can you interpret that line? Like, what does that mean? Explain that to me.
That's just saying I want to smash.
Is that what he's saying?
That's saying I want to get the yams, bro.
The music is the vagina.
Yeah. And if I'm in your blues and your left thigh trying to be the funk in your right, blues and funk, when we come together, what's that, hip hop?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah.
Go off.
Of course. You know what I mean? So he's just basically, that's a bar.
Okay.
But it's really just a play, a fancy way of saying I'm trying to smash.
Yeah.
But I'm hiding behind doom, doom, doom.
Yeah,
doom,
hiding behind the big bass and the snaps. Yeah,
the other women in the room is like,
hollering, getting hot. Yeah.
So he's like, I know for a fact women love a dude that women want.
Right.
So one woman sees this man, and she sees other women wanting this man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He on stage, and he was the man at that particular moment. He was the man. Yep. So she was like, okay, he knew exactly what he was doing. The ladies are gonna love this poem. Even if it embarrasses her a little bit, but she's gonna be in it. She's gonna fall into my hands.
Which brings her point, which was, you know, there are more things to talk about than sex. So basically, like I see what you did, right? I respect it, but what else do you have to say? What else are you about, besides sex? which is ironic because their relationship was dominated by sex.
On Smash. And she pursued most of it.
Yes.
Once he had her, she was like,
yes.
Yeah, so we'll get to that in a minute too.
Yes.
So yeah, of course, but that's how women are, man.
Yeah.
Women always want to feel like they're the ones being pursued when really and they are. And a lot of times men pursue them, but they want it just as bad as us, if not more.
Yeah.
But they can't make it seem like they do.
Yeah.
So she can't just give her number to Darius in front of all the homies.
Right.
She gotta like play the role. Here, take love. She wrote love on his hand. And even though she didn't know she was gonna see him in the bookstore. I mean, in the record store, but she knows she will see him again,
right?
Because she knows that she's gonna start going to that poetry lounge a lot,
right?
So she knows that I'm gonna see this dude again.
And so that was my only from a movie standpoint, like beyond just like the theme of it. It was a little clunky for me in the beginning because Larenz Tate's performance was a little mixed at the beginning. I couldn't tell if he was confident, cocky. He was so unsure and kind of like offset, which could have been like the choices that the character made, right? Like the director could have said like, you're normally, the super confident person, but this girl has thrown you a curveball, so now you're kind of like off your game. Everybody else was really tight at the beginning. I felt like his performance was a little wobbly. It took me some time to make it believable.
Right.
But once we got to rocking and rolling, I was all in.
And I will say this. Have you ever been in a situation where you see a chick that you want, and like, damn, is she gonna be receptive to the what I'm giving her? I'm about to,
right.
I'm trying to crack at her or whatnot. And once you find out that she's kind of giving you rhythm back, then now you loose.
Right.
Now you're comfortable.
Right.
It's easy to pursue a chick that you know is gonna be receptive to you.
Yeah.
Like I remember back in the day, I was in high school and I found out that this girl that I liked me. I was like, what? Oh, okay. So now instead of me hitting her up like, what's up? You think we can go to the movie sometime?
You run it downhill.
Yeah, you run it downhill skipping.
Yeah.
And so, but you know that her best friend tells you, man, she like you. She wrote letters and all that. I'm like, what? So now my pursuit is a little bit more assertive, and I'm more sure of myself because of it. And I think a lot of dudes go through that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what he went through. Like, even in the bookstore when she was like, nah, this ain't the right time. He was like, damn, I blew it.
Because I'm willing to bet that like 99% of his conquests came right after he got off that stage. Like that was his territory, the poetry lounge. So normally he'd do his bit, call me brother to the night. Is that all right?
Is that all right? Come on, man.
And then step off stage and literally there's a line. So he doesn't really have to work too hard. But in this instance, he had to put in work outside of the poetry. He had to earn it. Yeah. Off stage, which I think was dope.
I'm gonna say something in a minute, but let's go back to that the poetry pimping thing you said earlier. Poetry pimping. Poets, especially those slam poets or those type of poets, the worst. Because
the worst.
The first thing, you know what they're mimicking.
What?
Pimps, like you said. Hey,
exactly.
What's up, baby?
Great
you
point.
Call me brother Sunflower.
Great point.
And that's a pimp.
Great point.
Right there. So when I hear that, I'm like, that's not how you talk. First of all,
that's not how you talk,
my nigga. You just trying to get the panties just like us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We just don't know how to rhyme. You know what I'm saying?
And we're just realer.
Right.
We're just realer. And that's what's so funny is that I used to watch these ladies go into the poetry lounge and fall for the okie dokes.
Come on, he's so cultured.
Deep.
He's deep.
He's cultured. Yeah.
Deep. He's
Let me borrow your car.
Right. He's trying to get deep in the guts.
Still need to borrow your car.
He's deep. He needs to borrow your car.
Right.
That's hilarious.
But he still needs to borrow your car.
Real quick.
I need to go get some incense.
Yeah, nigga. Come on, bro. Brother deep. Yeah. Brother to the night.
Brother to the night.
You say he's
with the long leather coat.
With the long leather coat. And I know niggas is growing dreads just so they can become poets, my nigga.
Oh, so Savon, his boy Savon, them red dreads, I had to have them.
Oh, you had them?
I tried to grow it out. That was my goal. He was, we'll get into the characters later.
Yeah.
But like, when I watched it originally, that's who I wanted to be.
Oh, real?
I wanted to be Savon.
And you can tell he was a big homie.
He
was more level-headed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we thought he had it figured out.
We thought he did.
Yeah. And by the way, this for the record, if y'all haven't seen Love Jones, if y'all listening and watching this right now, Go watch it.
Go watch it.
Go see it right now.
It'll put all of this in context.
Right.
Because if you're going off your memory.
Yeah, and if you don't, and you might want to pause this and then go watch it.
Yeah.
Hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And come back and watch it so you can go on this ride with us, man. Because I love the movie. I think it's great. I think these characters were dope as hell. They wrote the characters perfectly, as perfect as you can get at this point. You know what I'm saying? To a degree. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But Savon was dope, and I thought he had it figured out. But that's realistically, even the smartest of guys, the nicest of guys, the goodest of husbands and wives and whatnot, they go through their issues too.
So let's get to our movie MVP. Right, you know what I mean. Like, you know, we've gone through the numbers. We talked about the impact of the film. Unless you got more there, we kind of went through let's do the plot and story review. Right, like take us through a quick survey of what happened in the film.
Okay, so a man by the name of Darius meets his girl Nina in a poetry lounge. He likes her, so he uses his poem to flirt with her from stage. Yep. And then after that, he goes through a couple of days of pursuing her. He runs into her again in the neighborhood, sees her at a record store, gets her. We'll talk about that in a minute. Gets her address, and shows up to her crib and asks her out on a date. And that's cool. They go on a date, and they both become like attracted to each other. They already were that from jump, but you can tell the chemistry got even deeper. They start dating, they start smashing. Yep. But they don't want to. It's nothing serious.
We just friends.
We just friends. Homie, lover, friends, and all that.
Right.
And so, they were fooling themselves because they both had feelings for each other, but they just did not. They couldn't and wouldn't express that to each other. They start playing little games. You know what I'm saying? And then they end up falling out because Nina made a decision to go off and to New York for a couple of weeks and to visit some people, and one person in particular, and that really is where it down spiraled their relationship. Because they spent the whole episode, the whole movie not communicating about how they really feel
from that particular event. Let's talk about that event for a sec.
All right.
Who was right? Who was wrong? Was anybody right or wrong?
Man,
on that,
I talked about this with my wife last night.
Okay,
and I was like,
I did too.
Yeah, bro. It's a perfect. We should have had a woman here. Wrong. We'll start. We might do this again.
Yeah,
bring this episode back, or bring this movie back, and have a female here.
Right.
To discuss this. I think wrong. I don't know if the wrong is the word. I think mismanaged opportunity.
Okay.
To get a real conversation going. Okay. About how you really feel. And I think the advice she got from her homegirl is where it started it.
You think it was bad advice?
She was like, it's almost game plan.
Game plan.
It's game plan.
I said the same
manipulation
thing.
Almost.
Yep.
As opposed to just asking how you feel about me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to do that. Women don't want to ask. Usually, girl, like the whole joke about when guys hate when girls be like, what are we? You know what I'm saying? That's basically what she was trying to say.
Yeah.
But instead of doing that, she's just she didn't make it up because he actually offered her to bring her to New York, her ex-boyfriend.
Right.
Her ex-boyfriend comes into town, says, I want you back and I want to make this work. I want you to come stay with me in New York. And let's figure this out. Let's work on us. Yeah. And so instead of saying, no, I got a dude, she leaves it open, and she talks to her homegirl about it. Josie's like, well, shit. I mean, you're not going to tell Darius, are you? She's like, but I can't lie to him. The new dude, Larenz Tate. Right. I can't lie to him. You don't got to lie to him, but all right, you got to tell him. Go ahead and tell him, but see what he says. If he tells you not to go, then you got somebody that you want to keep moving with.
I didn't like the if then, right?
Say it again.
The if then. If he does this, then this is the result.
Right.
Or if he does this, to me, that was the game plan. Right. You know, exactly. that was the game plan. You could have easily said, like, I'm going back. I need to understand. I was engaged to this man. Right. We broke up. That's the only reason why I'm down here in Chicago. Right. I need to know what I feel about this situation in order to move forward or not move forward with you. Right?
Right.
That's, to me, like, it's inarticulate, but that's a cleaner way to present that I'm going to New York.
Right.
Now, I honestly kind of believe she didn't owe him anything.
Because they were just kicking it.
They was, so she didn't have to say anything.
She shouldn't
at all.
have said nothing.
Shouldn't have said nothing.
I said, my wife was like, no, she shouldn't have told him nothing.
He didn't need to know.
No. At all. Now, had they been talking about getting together, like making it more than friends, and of course, you got to start expressing those type of things that's going in your life outside of y'all two.
Yeah.
But if y'all just smashing, y'all just, you know what I'm saying, doing your thing, y'all just hanging out, having fun. I'm going to New York, and he asked. I mean, you can ask what you're doing, what you going there for. Just out of that as a homie.
Right.
Oh, you got some job interviews? That's cool. So he can ask why, but the way he asked is almost like, what's going on? What's going on up there?
The way she presented it.
Yeah.
And this is my opinion. This is my opinion. I believe that Nina is the stronger, more mature person of the two in the couple.
Facts.
But everything that happened after that was her fault.
Yeah.
Because that was a poor decision. And it snowballed.
Yeah.
From her going up to him moving on to her seeing him. Everything happened because she didn't keep it real, played that if-then kind of scenario.
And she took advice from her single homegirl who ain't had no dude the whole movie. What are you doing?
She was thirsty the whole movie.
Come thirst basket.
Living vicariously.
So why
is that your girl?
I mean, she could be your homegirl, but don't take
advice from her.
Relationship advice from her. Not at all.
She's not the one.
And then I feel like she even the advice that Josie gave her wasn't necessarily what she did. I feel like she did it the wrong way.
Right.
I thought she was gonna say, hey, I'm going to New York for a couple of weeks. I got a couple of interviews up there, and I'm gonna keep it 100. My ex wants to see me.
Right.
But I'm not going to pursue that. I don't want anything else to do with him. I like you. You know, we just kicking it. We trying to see what it is, but I'm just letting you know. She should have said that, but if she did, that's okay.
Let's talk about advice. Right? Did anyone give good did Savon give good advice? Was he a good big homie?
I thought he was going to, but then I think his woman left him. So he changed his whole swag.
Right.
He changed his whole swag. He became just a bitter big homie. Like love is gone, love is over.
Yeah.
But hold on, real quick about that. I also want to talk. I want to finish on the if I go
on the if then. Right.
I think Larenz Tate was wrong for that. I put myself in his shoes back in the day when I was single and I was dating girls and just having fun. If a chick told me, hey, I'm going to New York this is LA, I'm going up to the Bay to visit some people. How long you gonna be up there? Oh, a couple weeks, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a photographer, so she's freelance. She can go anywhere. I'm like, I know that we just friends.
Right.
If I'm cool with you,
you're
doing
not
whatever
even
you want to
asking
do.
her. Right.
Oh, you about to go chill with your ex? All right, you meet these homies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but he was just homies, but he didn't want to be no more.
Right.
And that's where the problem was.
That's where, to me, the immaturity comes in. Because, that we just friends scenario, which any single man knows about, can be like used one or two different ways. It can be a definitive stance and position, right? 10 toes down, we just friends. Or it's an eject button, an escape button, either like to escape from real feelings or to escape from real responsibility.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to commit to you.
Right.
So we just friends. Eject button.
Boom.
Or I'm really feeling you and I don't know how to tell you. So we just friends.
I'm a hide behind.
Eject button. I'm a hide behind. We just friends.
What's the tell how you feel? Nah, man. We just friends.
We just friends.
We good, bro.
Right. We just
you
friends.
Like her though.
You like her.
We just friends, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I felt like, again, I thought Savon was going to be able to hold him to the fire on that because he knew.
Yeah.
He knew what was going on.
Right.
To be like, you really like the girl. But ultimately, you see him kind of do that a little bit later in the movie. Why don't you call? Man, you running through.
I think he would have been that guy earlier had his wife not left.
Yeah.
When his wife walked out,
I
think he didn't. I think his world was upside down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They could have gave the little man some lines too. The son, he was just come on, man. I mean, he was too old. He was too old, too big to have nothing to say.
They didn't have him in the budget. They didn't.
Yeah, he didn't even acknowledge his son. They should have made him. He was somebody's producer's son.
Yeah,
he was like 13. They could have made him 3. They could have made him 4.
He said nothing.
He was just sat there.
He didn't even say hi, Dad.
Yeah,
Right, bye, Dad.
He didn't even say, son, I love
Nothing.
you. I'm gonna call you. Okay, I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
Right.
It's nothing.
Nothing.
I said, okay. That's one thing that bothered me. I was like,
Yeah.
he's not gonna say nothing. Okay.
Maybe it wasn't his son. Right? Like maybe they cut the part where he said he ain't even my son anyway.
Even still, he in your house, you raising him.
Right.
That's your son.
Right. That's funny.
Right.
That's funny.
I thought about this. I was like, man, the way they walked out, I mean, that dude's he like 12.
He's like big kid.
Yeah. So
big kid. Yeah.
They've been married or together for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
and then they never really explained why she was leaving.
Yeah.
It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. They didn't explain why she was leaving. They didn't explain why she came back. Like
I was like, okay, this makes stuff happen. So, I mean, it was. I love the movie so much, I didn't care.
Right.
You know what I'm
look
saying?
past
But
it.
I did notice. I was like, okay, he did make a statement. He was saying, you spend all this damn money. If you
Mhm.
wasn't spending so much damn money, we could live.
Yeah.
Such and such. I said, okay. So
yeah.
a lot of times relationships end because of adultery
Finance.
and or finance.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
But that delivered to me one of the coldest lines that I think I might have ever heard in a movie. Do I love my wife? Hell yeah. Is she here? Hell no.
Man. Man.
That's a great bar. That's a
right.
Oh, the movie had bars.
Bars, bro.
The movie had
absolutely
bars.
Yes, indeed.
That's one of my favorite
Yeah.
bars. Do I love my wife? Hell yeah. Is she here? Hell no.
Right.
Y'all can step.
For all care, man, y'all can step.
Nicely done.
He was mad. Bro.
Oh, he was serious.
He was upset with his girl, man. His wife
was serious,
and he brought the little chick over to the function. I was like, man, you wild. Fam.
Yeah.
But
he was what I like about it is that he was legit about it. There was no shadiness. There was no gray. This is black and white. I love my wife. We not together right now. So don't judge. Left. And she left. So I'm gonna do me.
Right.
Like to me, I think it's a very respected line. That made him as a character, I think, real and just honest and candid.
Around.
He wasn't sneaking.
He had his wife.
He wasn't cheating.
He loved her.
Yeah.
She left him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that what he did was right. What I'm saying is what he did was, in his mind, normal. Well, if I'm going to my friend's party, I'm bringing my wife or the woman I'm with.
Or the woman I'm with.
When my wife left.
Yep. I'm at the party.
You know what I'm saying? I'm doing exactly the same thing I would be doing if my wife was here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So even when the old girl, we'll get to her in a minute. Sheila.
Sheila.
We'll get to that in a minute. But I mean, there's so many things to talk about, man, on this film, bro. So Nina said, I'm going to New York. He said, cool, do your thing, man. It's all good.
Right.
And I think that's a good response.
Yeah.
If I'm him and we just homies, you do your thing. But that's not how he felt.
Yep.
That's not how he felt. And that's not how she felt when he said that. She got disappointed that he said, go ahead.
Yep.
But if you shouldn't do that.
Right.
If you know y'all just kicking it.
You didn't have to bring him into that.
Yeah.
Just go find out. Just go find out. Right.
Or if she said, but she was expecting him to be like, no, I mean, I thought what we had was cool. Why you had to go up there and deal with him? She wanted him to say that.
That's what she wanted.
Right.
She
never would have went.
Right.
But she should have been like, hey,
yep.
I like you, but I want to see where this is going. And if it ain't going nowhere, not even an ultimatum. Is that an ultimatum?
Right.
I just know because you telling me if we're not gonna be nothing but just friends, I might go see what's up with my ex. I still might have feelings for her. I don't know if I do, but then let me go up there to find out if there's anything left with us. Because what we doing here is cool, but I like you more than I thought I would. And you know what I'm saying? She never said that. He never said it.
I think having conversations about exes is it's like thin ice. You don't want to do it.
Right.
You don't want to do it even under the most noble of circumstances. You don't want to bring an ex into a conversation that isn't solidified. Now, me and my wife, we talk about our exes all the time because all of those experiences were character building, right? It's what prepared us to actually be a good couple.
Right.
But like when you're dating, don't bring the
figure it out.
Yeah, you're still trying to figure it out. It's unnecessary. And nobody, I think people are so vulnerable that very rarely are people going to give you the response that you're looking for, that you're not asking about specifically. Right?
So, yeah.
So it's just, you're just setting yourself up for trouble. And so trouble ensued.
Yeah, she self-sabotaged her situation.
Yes, she did.
Because it was cool.
Yep.
It was chilling.
Yep.
She brought that up. And the dude, I mean, would she have went to New York if her dude wouldn't have came up there?
Yeah. Yeah.
If Marvin wouldn't have came back to the crib and gave her that train ticket, would she even went up to New York for a job?
For job interview? Probably not. She probably would have kept it moving in Chicago.
So when she was like, remember she said that line? She was like, "You always want it when you want it."
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know about all that.
Right.
You switched the game up.
You switched it up.
You know what I'm saying? And he didn't handle it right.
No.
But you brought it to him.
The leather jacket failed him. Right. Like, he without his jacket on. It was funny. I was keeping record. He's his most confident when he has the jacket on. Right. It's like his Doctor Strange cloak.
Yeah, but it was like a judge.
He needs his jacket. He needs his jacket. So then ultimately, what do you think about Nina's fiance?
Marvin? He's a buster, bro.
He's a buster.
Ah, man, he was a buster, bro.
He was a clown.
He was a clown. And first of all, I love that character. I love that actor.
Yeah.
And then Raheem, right? Raheem? From Juice.
From Juice.
Yeah, right. Raheem.
Raheem.
That's right. Nah, that was dope.
Yeah.
But it was almost
Khalil Kane.
Yep.
Khalil
Kane, man. He did his thing.
Yeah.
I almost was mad at her. Like, what are you doing with this dude, bro?
Yeah. He had money.
He had bread.
You know
what I'm saying?
He
was tripping off the toasted oats. Though. Yeah. I said, what?
That was real. First of all,
I get that though a little bit.
Yeah, I get it, but it's obvious like he didn't understand how thin of ice he was on.
You just got it back, nigga.
Broke the whole thing over some toasted oats.
Yeah,
I'm going to get some toasted oats.
She can't.
You tripping.
Okay, he came back. She was going. And nigga woke up, ring on his finger.
Yep.
He was like, oh.
He had the toasted oats though.
Damn.
He made a decision.
I should have chilled with the toasted oats.
He was a clown, but she was a clown for sitting up in there.
She was a clown, man.
Because that's how he was all the time. Even though like they just give us that snapshot into what their relationship was like, you could tell that he was like that all the time.
And she was like, you had it all before. He was like, okay, well, I want it again.
I want it again. That's not even a good answer.
Yeah. Man, she's a sucker for that.
Yeah.
And I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I think Darius might have been like gassing her up about her photos. Remember, he was like, I know you got a great eye.
Yeah.
Because the only time we talked about her photos outside of that was when she presented her portfolio to the dude, and he was like, nah, this ain't clean enough.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
So she was low-key trashing that too. Right. Like, you weren't even a good photographer, bro.
Yeah, she was an assistant.
Yeah.
She was a bad assistant.
Right.
Couldn't get the order right.
Uh-huh.
But homie was a dick.
Right.
But yeah, but I think Darius was definitely gassing her. The house she was in wasn't hers. Right?
And she had another walk in like, this is definitely a bachelor spot.
Yeah, right. At least I have one. Right.
You know what I'm saying? You better fall back on the criticism.
Right. So true. Again, but she was still better off. So I had a conversation with my wife where I talked about who won the movie, right? And for me, I was like, well, Nina won the movie by far. Like, even though Darius gets the girl, Nina is in a much better place at the end of the movie than what she was at the beginning, right? Darius is in a better place as well. He finally gets the book out.
Okay.
But he's not as far along in terms of like checking all the boxes that Nina is now. Nina is
established in New York.
Is the boss
working
now.
for what?
She was working for Vibe. She was working for Vibe, but she's the boss now.
Uh-huh.
She's got assistants now.
Oh, so she was actually good at her job.
Yeah,
okay.
You know what I mean. Or maybe she needed this experience.
Right.
She needed
to fall back,
be going around breaking young boys' hearts. But ultimately, at the end of the movie, she's in a much better place. Like, there's still in the same club
Right.
Right? Like, he's got the book out, but like his circumstance hasn't changed fundamentally at all. Same leather jacket. Right? Same leather jacket, same block.
He was like Nina.
Yeah.
He was under the overpass.
Under the overpass getting rained on.
Same as the first scene in the movie.
Right.
Hey man, that's funny.
She low-key saved him. Right? I mean, if anything,
she came back.
She came back for real. She came back for love, but like, nigga had her smoking cigarettes. You know what I mean? Right? Like, he really kind of like drug her down to his level for a little bit. She left. She got right. Was like, okay, now I'm coming back for the love. But ultimately, for that year that they was estranged at the end of the film, Darius didn't do much.
Right.
He got the book out.
And this is why the movie's so great, because we just broke her down.
Yeah.
And him too. But they human.
They human.
And it didn't mean that she wasn't wifey material. It didn't mean that he wasn't a good enough dude to be with. It just meant that they was going to, and on top of it, bro, when I don't know how old they were supposed to be in the movie, but I know when I was in my 20s, nigga, I was financially trash.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was dating all over the place. I was dating, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's realistic in a way that you might not have your own spot. You might be house sitting. I wasn't house sitting, but I had roommates. I had roommates most of my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was my spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't have everything together, but they had that chemistry with each other.
Yeah.
Like,
I've got one more little nitpick about.
I got a few, but yeah.
I've got one more. The one thing that I think the movie was missing is we certainly knew that they had great sexual chemistry. They saved their relationship chemistry for the montages, right? Like, we really didn't get
running through the forest.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Through the woods
we didn't get a chance to hear them have that like galvanizing conversation where we knew that they were right for each other.
Right.
We saw them like kind of intellectually, joust with each other a little bit.
Nietzsche said.
Yeah, well, you're trying a little bit too hard now. Like all of that. But we didn't really get a chance to understand why they were right for each other. Besides being great, being sexually compatible.
Right.
That was the one thing like that I think was missing. Like, she's the one, but he never told anybody.
Right.
Nor, I don't know if he ever told her, this is what you mean to me.
Right.
This is why you're important to me. This is why I want to be with you.
He was just saying, hey, you talking about the Nina chick, right? And he was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Man, she fucked you up.
Yeah.
She fucked me up.
But he didn't explain
How?
it. To me, that was the one piece of the story to go like, this is why they're are meant to be.
Right.
This is why. And we get that in other movies. You understand, like, we'll do Brown Sugar and you understand why they want to be together, like why they belong together.
Love and Basketball.
Why they belong together, why they need to be together. For this, even though the movie is beautiful, it's a great love story, I still don't understand why. Yeah. Why they want to be together.
Like, the pussy's fire.
It was fire. It sounded
like, and for her, the sex was good.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, man, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Like, it felt like the reason why they were so drawn to each other is because the sex was bomb.
The sex was bomb. Sex was bomb.
It's what we call Sex Jones.
Yeah, Sex Jones.
Smash Jones.
Right. It's a little light on the love. Right.
Right.
We didn't get that part. And again, like when they would do the montages where they would be chilling in a lounge, smoking cigarettes, hanging out with like people and stuff like that. So I get what was happening then. Like that was
a good minute and a half.
Yeah, good time. But the movie was missing that one speech that you complete me. That you have me at hello. Right.
At the end, you know what I'm saying? I gotta love Joe. That's urgent in the motherfucker.
Urgent in the motherfucker.
Then he finally said,
Great bar. I love you. I just would have wanted, and maybe like that's what Nina's poem was supposed to get at, which I didn't understand at all. But I just felt like that one speech that you complete me, that you had me at hello, like one of those little like pieces would be like, okay, they live happily ever after, and I understand why, because I'm not 100% convinced they don't fall out 6 months after the movie. Right?
Oh, we didn't even discuss she dipped on him and went to her ex, came back,
oh yeah, I was waiting on this,
and started rocking with his homie.
Yes, let's talk about Wood. Can we talk about Wood?
Wood, man.
Can we talk about Wood?
Hating ass Wood, bro.
On the rewatch, the first time I watched it as a young man, I was totally into Simone. Totally into it. On the rewatch, I loved Bill Bellamy's character Wood. I thought he was fantastic because I had been sitting with that poetry pimping for like decades now. So like he was sitting in there saying that. He was hating, but he literally called out, bitches be falling for this.
I don't need poetry to get women.
I don't need poetry to get women. Right. He kept it 100, right? Like, I mean, aside from the competitive stuff with Darius, he kept it with 100 with damn near everybody he was with. Right. Right? You know, a massage. You know what I mean? Girl, you know you need a massage, right?
You
he was certainly shady for show ponying Nina around the peeps. But he was just a real one.
Let's take it. Yeah, he really. Let's take it a step further and think about his character and what in his mind, he might be like, bro, you in love with this Nina chick? Nigga, she a bird, bro.
Right.
She a flip.
That was his mentality.
Let me show you.
Yes.
He said the chicks that be in snapping their fingers in the poetry lounge and will let you get the draws because you can rhyme.
Yep.
And talk about similes and metaphors and haikus and shit.
Yep.
Oh, that chick is a regular chick. Matter of fact, when you're done with her, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna bring her around.
Exactly.
Even though she didn't know she was going around the homies, but she knew she was going around his homies.
She knew she was with him.
And she
knew but
even the homegirl that was like, hey, I'm gonna hook y'all up. What?
Yeah.
Jealousy? What are you talking about?
We will get it.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst.
But
friend.
but again, like that's a bad play.
Yeah.
You first of all, you know they in the same social circle, so they even do that. But again, that's anger. That's get back. You know,
she saw him with the
she never specifically said that it was a vengeance play. But I think what's important to note about Wood was that he wasn't at the poetry lounge for the poetry. He was never there for the poetry.
Right. He never said one poem.
He was 100% there for the draws. He was there. And so the movie played out with him being exactly who he was at the beginning.
Facts.
So you can't blame him. And even when he was like, you ain't gonna take me home. Hell,
that's what I'm saying. I was loving Nina Mosley. I was like, oh man, he was like, hell no, I ain't taking you home.
Did not love her like that.
He went back in the house. Yes. And he's like, hey, where Nina at?
And no leather jacket. Very important to note.
Leather jacket. Right.
Very important to note. Yeah.
She played herself.
Yeah, played herself.
Even though, is he wrong? I wonder if a woman was here. He wrong for not taking her home. Oh, okay, yeah. But she knew that he was a sucker.
She knew exactly who he was.
Yeah. So are you gonna take me home? No, I ain't taking you home. Yeah. You know who I am.
And this is the inconsistency in Nina, because, or this is the like clairvoyance of Nina. When Darius talks about sex on like the first interaction, she calls him out on it.
Right.
The first date with Wood, he like, you look good in a thong. Right? Laugh off. Right? You know what I mean? So it's just like, so which one is it? You know, like.
Or shit, take your clothes off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or he on the phone, she come home, take the phone out of his hand, hang it up. You know what I'm saying? And after he smacked the first night, she making him breakfast. He making her breakfast.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, anything else you want? I don't ask that question. And she a horn dog.
Do you think she slept with Wood?
Nah.
I don't think she did either.
I don't think she did.
I don't think she did either.
Oh, nah, I don't think she did.
If that night had gone right, she might have.
Marvin, though.
You think she smashed Marvin?
Yeah,
Marvin. On the trip back?
Oh, yeah. But when she had to.
Yeah,
she's staying with him for however long.
That's where a woman's perspective would be very important. Because when she says she has to go back to New York to see what it is.
What you got to see?
Like emotionally, you know where it is. Do you just want to smash one more time to see if like
it won't prefer? What's the compare strokes? I'm gonna go up there. Your stroke is savage. But let me go back up there to my ex to see if he's still packing it down. Nah, it ain't the same. I'm gonna come back.
So let's get into some awards.
Okay.
All right. Who's your movie MVP?
Okay. Before the conversation, I had Darius.
You sticking with that?
I think so, because I feel like he made some bad decisions, but not as many as she did. And I think that I mean, you just said she won the movie. I think so, but that doesn't mean she's MVP.
Yeah,
I don't think. Or maybe that does. But I think I like his character more. I definitely have some criticism for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was cool to the point where I rooted for him. He's an MVP, man, because I think he, even through adversity, man, you dated my homeboy. You went back to your ex, dated my homeboy, and I still took you back. Yeah, he the MVP.
I'm going the opposite route.
Okay,
respect everything that you put out. Nina gets my MVP.
Okay,
right, and I just think because where she ended up at the end of the movie as opposed to the start of the movie, she's just in a much better position. She's got like more numbers in the box score. She put up a double by the time we got to the end of the movie. So she's my MVP.
Okay.
Who's your unsung hero of the film? Sheila? Yeah.
It's my nigga, man.
It wasn't she a real one?
She was the glue, bro, in my opinion. And I'm gonna tell you why. She was, for one, she was bad. You know what I'm saying? I think she was a cutie pie. And she didn't have no dude the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just a homegirl that all the homies was cool with. She was just the only chick that hung out.
Yep.
Right? And I can see she was like I'm about to make a statement and disrespect somebody. Or not disrespect, but insult somebody.
Right.
I'm not gonna say no names, but she's a good looking chick.
Yeah.
I thought that her and Wood was gonna have something going on, but I didn't see that going either. I saw, but I didn't see it.
Right.
That's a whole nother story. But Sheila, because Sheila was the homegirl that let you be who you are. She let you know I don't rock with the way you moving.
Yeah.
But you still my dog.
Right.
Like, even with Wood, when they were doing the whole back and forth at the table with her.
Yeah.
And then Darius got up and left.
Yeah.
And she basically knew you shady for what you're doing.
Right.
But you still my nigga. They had a little laugh at the end of that scene. So she's still the homie.
I agree. At first I was going to go with Savant just because he was a really good character, but you're right, it's Sheila.
Character was great. Because even with Savant, when he showed up with the homegirl, and she opened the door, was staring at him like
quick side eye.
It was a long side. She was staring at him like, nigga, are you serious, bro?
Yeah. But still gracious.
Still
gracious to the new girl.
How you doing?
How you doing?
And she let them come on in.
Yeah.
Because she's a woman, but she's still the bro.
Yeah.
It's imagine like if
this
you got,
is true.
If you got your homie,
yes,
he got a wife, but they separated, and you bring a new chick to the crib, you're like, bro, you sure you want to do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey man, I'm separated, bro. I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
All right, bro. How you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? How you doing, mama? And you still, she wasn't like, you can't do it. She still was the bro. I respect Sheila for that.
You called that great. She was the homie, but she's still a bro.
Yeah.
Which is because even when Wood brings Nina to the crib during the party, she still shows grace to Nina. She could have been like, what you doing in here with him? Mm-hmm. Head upstairs. You know what I mean? Like, get out of Dodge. The restroom is upstairs.
Because Sheila was really a dude.
Yeah.
Like she didn't have no emotions. Mm-hmm. You know, and I feel like even with her looks was keeping her homies in line.
Right.
That she wouldn't let them go too far. When Savant and Wood was about to get into an argument about Nina, she was like, no, this is not today.
Yep.
At my crib, now we're not gonna do this. We're gonna have a good time. And whatever issues we got, I know she knows tension. But you at my party and she kept him alive.
Right. Who wins the overacting award?
Bill Bellamy.
You think Bill?
Uh-huh.
Make your case.
Just because I know Bill's comedy, and I think he did a great job. I love his performance actually. Mm-hmm. But hey man, he was just too like he was if he's jealous, he looks too jealous. He's doing this like
yeah.
You could be jealous just in conversation. It could be a nuance.
Yeah.
Of a very, very, like, in your performance, you could just be jealous. You could just be kind of like, okay, in your dialogue or in just a small twitch of a facial expression. But he was just like,
yeah.
But he's a comedian.
Right.
He's used to being
he's expressive like that.
Being all old and big. So yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Josie.
I knew you were going to say that.
Josie doing way too much in every scene. Like, just if she's smiling with her whole face, and just too much. Just like her responses are too much. What'd he say? What'd he do? Da 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 da. I felt like, And again, she's to a certain extent, she played that same kind of character in Jason's Lyric, right? You know, so I understand that like she likes to shine. She likes to let like her energy and her joy and all of that kind of like just come right out of her. So I get that part. But yeah, to me, it was just like over. It was like a little bit over the top,
right? Even though I say I agree with that, but I still loved it. Yeah, I still honestly when she was like, "You a hoe, you a hoe,
you a hoe." Great.
And I like when she was like, when she was talking about the sex, and she was like, "What did it say? What did it say?" And the long pause, this long dramatic pause. I was like, "Okay, yeah." But to me, I think that the whole poetry world is already dramatic, right? It's already a show, And I feel like she's I feel like she's the one that brought Nina to that lounge, to that poetry lounge. She's just she's the one that's gonna fall for the guy with the dreadlocks and the seashells in his hair and
all the way in.
You know what I'm saying? All the way in. She's that
all the way in.
You know what I'm saying? So she's and that's probably why she doesn't stick in her relationships, because she's in the fairy tale. So everything is just like unbelievable. She's just over the top and everything she does, and you know what I'm saying?
I get it. Yeah. All right, one more. Who's your least valuable player?
The son.
The son.
I mean, he literally did not have to be there.
Yeah.
But least valuable player.
Who's your least valuable player?
Outside of that, the scene they had on the beach.
Yeah.
With Darius and Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie didn't have to be there.
Eddie was the worst.
He was like, "What are you?" But I'm thinking they had to have if Savon is the married homie, and Sheila is the homegirl that's like the dude. She's the bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She was my Tasha O'Keefe. Shout out to my girl Tasha. R.I.P. But like she was you had to have another homeboy you had to have the Wood character. His character was necessary.
Yes.
For sure.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? I got a Wood character in my whole homie friendship realm right now. Yeah. And Eddie was necessary, but because of I feel like they didn't utilize him as much as they could have. Yeah. I think that line, that scene with them at the beach could have easily been Savant.
It could have been easily cut from the movie.
I think exactly. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because he had enough heart. He had a 1 or 2 heart-to-hearts with Savant about how he feels about Nina. Yeah.
I feel like when they were in the casting room, they had the movie completely cast, right? Everything was on. Right. And then somebody from wardrobe came in. So we've got 5 ridiculous hats that we don't know what to do with. And the writer said, "Okay, I'll write this new character
for the hats,
just for the hats."
Eddie Cole.
Every hat was ridiculous. Every hat was oversized.
Right.
Every hat was ridiculous.
He's like a Marx brother.
Yeah,
man.
Listen, on the rewatch, I literally fell out laughing at the end of the movie after Nina does her piece. And he comes in and Nina Miles.
I promise you,
fell out,
bro. It reminded me of college, bro.
Yeah,
I remember sitting up in these poetry. Of course, we going. That's what the chicks is going. But we seeing the dudes up there. We like, these niggas is faulty, bro.
Fake.
They super fraudulent, bro. Like, I know these niggas. I be running through the dorms with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man. Yeah. They say they're just putting words together. Ocean breeze, cascading down to your knees.
Nina Mosley.
Nina Mosley.
She reminds me of Africa.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Here's the thing, and I don't want to disrespect the brother because, you know, like no shade, but this is just a call out, an observation, right? Going back to like the great Hollywood Shuffle, Black Acting School, right? Where guys like, I studied at Cambridge. He always feels fish out of water in the Black movies that he's in.
Like, okay.
He even in Drumline, he felt fish out of water, right?
He got game.
Like, fish out of water. Love Jones, fish out of water, right? There's something about him that's like, you could have easily cast a white homie for that particular particular role. Right. Like, you know, like his slang is slightly off. His posture is slightly off. His hats are inexplicable. Right? Like there's just something that's inauthentic. Like he's the most like inauthentic Black man in Black movies, like consistently. You know, no shade, but it's just
crazy.
an observation.
Bro. I think you observed right because I wouldn't have explained it like that at all. But he just that kid, his acting, not his acting, but like his presence.
He's too good. He's too well trained of an actor. Like it's obvious. Like if I went through his resume, he went to Juilliard. Right. He might have studied at Cambridge.
Yeah, Yale School of Drama.
He's got the Oxford acting certification. You know, he learned to act from King George. This is clear in his presentation as a character. You can tell his language is crisp. It's obvious he's an intelligent person.
Right.
But he just doesn't fit in like those naturally endemic environments, right? Like it just something feels offbeat, right? Right, like he can't dance, right? Like there's something.
Did you see him dance?
At
the party.
Even
I paused.
Yeah, and it was like, look at this.
I said,
look at this. And like,
he said,
I
said, oh.
Like he went to like the dance studio for like 8 hours prior to that scene to work that out, right?
I'm like, choreograph
that piece.
17 seconds of dancing.
Yeah.
And okay, he was the host at the portrait at the sanctuary. I get that.
Right.
And but he didn't have no women.
Yeah. Swag was off.
He
was even drinking the brew weird. Like if you look at it when they was on the beach, right? Like, you know, like he was hitting it weird. Like it wasn't like
that's crazy. I promise you I noticed that. I say he's just an awkward dude.
He's awkward.
And
he's awkward and odd. And I just it clicked for me last night watching that, like he's like that every time we see him. It's just something.
He's never the man.
Yeah.
And even in He Got Game, I didn't even believe that he would be the guy.
Yeah.
That would be kind of like working with Lala.
Yeah.
Or Lola Benita.
Lala
Benita. Like she wouldn't be around this dude.
Yeah. It's just something just off.
He didn't even seem sleazy enough.
Right.
He didn't even seem untrustworthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because I don't think he brought that to the character enough.
I wouldn't be surprised if like there was an interview with him and he was like, I didn't want any of these roles, but I had to work.
Right.
You know, I had to work, but like none of these characters reflect me, my background,
right?
You know, who I am, but I got cast. I'm an actor, and I wanted to work.
Like Braxton Hartnebrig.
Right.
That guy.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
I think he was a great Braxton.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, the stuff I see them do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That ain't
yeah.
Maybe
we go like Luther's curl. It just
didn't really
didn't
curl.
Come all the way around.
It didn't really curl.
Didn't come all the way around. So that's the only call out. And then like add that and inexplicably large reverse Kangos, you know.
Man.
Just that's why he's my LVP.
Okay.
That's why he's my okay. Let's bring it home.
Before we do that, I gotta say something that we didn't I saw yesterday.
Yeah.
Last night when I watched it. A big call out. Small, but to me, it's like that was crazy writing for me. That's an easy fix. So she was house sitting, right?
Right.
He got her address from a check.
Oh.
How's your address?
Yes.
If you don't live here.
If you don't live there.
How does your check have this address there?
Very good.
I was like, all right, writers, come on, man.
Yeah.
Unless they put it in there like she was lying to him, like she was trying to downplay her status as this is her big ass loft, but she was trying to make, oh no, I'm house sitting, and she was lying.
They called it out. Like, you know, that she was 100% house sitting. You know, she packed up the U-Haul at the beginning, you know, and headed down to Chicago.
Right.
That's a really good call out. Like that, the continuity department must have been like looking elsewhere. Because that's how would he have gotten that address?
Right. Exactly.
How would he have gotten that? That's why you are who you are.
Oh man, come on.
That's why you are who you are.
It's all good. It's all love.
Okay, so how would you? Let's see. We got 2022 recast, story predictions, and then our ranking. How would you try to recast this?
Damn, and I started and I worked on this, And the first thing that came to my mind was Lakeith Stanfield as Darius. But then again, they kind of did that already with the
Issa Rae, with the photo.
With the photograph.
Yeah.
Because I was going to put her in there.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, shit. And I look up at Amazon Prime and I see the movie right next to The Wood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the movie right next to Love Jones.
Yeah.
So I could see Michael B. Jordan.
Yep.
And I was trying to think of a black actress from age 25 to 35.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Tessa in there. I thought about Zoe, and I was like, but Zoe is a good actress.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm believing Zoe as Nina Mosley.
Right.
I don't think that because she pulled it off yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I see her there.
Right.
And I'm looking at I got to go back and think of all the actresses that's around there.
Mm-hmm.
That age range. They're there. I just don't know. I drew a blank last night, and I was supposed to get up this morning and look at and start doing some research of who.
This was tough.
It was,
because I think that the film is cast so perfectly that like I can't really see anybody else.
I would have to literally take time
doing it
to go through films and go through actors to be like, okay, I'm gonna recast them here.
Yeah.
This and
that. And what made this recast tough is that I'm really just like moving black faces into spaces. Right. There's nobody else that I really want to see, or somebody that I think could bring the character to life in a unique way. Right. Like, maybe you could recast Bill Bellamy's character with somebody that's like funny and relevant today.
Right.
But outside of that, like, the movie's kind of perfectly cast.
Facts.
It's cast like time capsule. Everybody is believable with the exception of Homie. Everything like works, so I don't know if I could cast it any other way.
And I made the statement last night, and I was saying, they don't make movies like this anymore.
Right.
And
beautiful
black
movies.
Black movies.
Beautiful.
Like, if it's not a comedy or and even if it's like a dramedy or a drama, it's still not done as good.
Yeah.
It's still not as relatable and I feel like nowadays they're gonna put the biggest social media star in that role and it's not gonna work.
Right.
As opposed to, even though, like, for example, even back then there were other black actors, but I think that who could have played Larenz Tate's character Darius Love Hall? Could have Morris Chestnut played it?
Too sexy.
Okay. Boom.
Yeah.
If he I paused, by the way.
Thank you.
I get what you're
that
saying.
Just came out so fast.
Yeah. That was a casting director statement.
It just jumped out of me.
Right. I was about to move on.
Now you have to sit there with that.
Let me just stall him.
Oh, boy. There's so many different adjectives I could have used, too.
All good.
But
I got what you're saying.
You get it.
That's a casting statement. Casting director statement for sure. I don't think Terrence Howard was cracking like that yet.
No, he wasn't cracking like that. Plus, too sleazy.
Right. Yeah.
Terrence always has sleazy.
Hey, man.
Hey, greasy.
His
right.
Voice. He could have played.
What's funny is that
because he played the Wood.
Yeah.
In The Best Man.
In The Best Man.
Spivey, yeah.
Right. And the point that I was about to make is that Tate Diggs plays the Darius. So they played those characters in a different movie.
And Tate Diggs wasn't cracking yet.
Not yet.
So at that time, the black actors were Wesley Snipes, Morris Chestnut.
You bring Malcolm Jamal Warner out of early retirement.
Malcolm Jamal Warner, you think?
Yeah. You cast. Think about this
Was
casting. Whatever. No, but everybody knows him. By now, he's dreaded out and doing the poetry lounges, so he brings authenticity to the character.
Out. Okay,
you pull him out. It's like a career resurgence for him, like Iron Man and Robert Downey. Right? He comes back, does Love Jones, and now
and he would have. I think he would have been good there.
He'd have been great there.
You know what I'm saying? I like Malcolm Jamal Warner. Because back then I feel like the black actors were the superstars, the Martin Lawrences at the time, the Eddie Murphys,
right?
The Jamie wasn't even cracking yet.
No.
But so I feel like Tate Diggs wasn't cracking yet. So what's his name? Larenz Tate at the time, he was Inkwell. He was
right.
Minister
of Society.
Jones, Minister of Society. He was that actor.
Yeah. Could Cuba have played it? Cuba Gooding Jr.?
I'm about to ask you that.
He suffers from the same problem that homie suffers from.
Yeah.
Right.
And in my opinion, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
I think we'll talk about that. That's a whole other conversation. We'll talk about that off camera. But yeah, I don't see Cuba doing that.
Yeah.
I think, and the fact that you said about Larenz Tate's character, his look, the way he sounds, the way he talks was perfect for that, bro. Because he's a little dude too,
right?
But she's a little chick, and it worked. If he was 6'2",
could Don Cheadle have played the role?
I don't think at the time he wasn't leading anything yet.
He wasn't leading yet,
but could he have played that?
But I mean, like, he was out. He certainly was out. He certainly was acting.
He was for sure.
Yeah,
and I love him.
Yeah,
I'm more of a fan of him than anybody we mentioned in this film.
I don't think Don Cheadle could do it because he wasn't attractive enough.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can see him playing maybe Savon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see him playing Wood.
Yeah. No.
No. Savon for sure, and even Marvin.
Yeah, he could have played all of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do your story predictions. Right now, so what this segment is basically is imagine the movie runs for another 30 minutes. What's your predictions on how things end up?
I think I was hoping, because I'm all about friendship. I was hoping that Bill Bellamy's character and Darius' character came together and was like, bro, I'm foul for that, bro. I'm sorry, my nigga. Because even because when he was like, man, you came back in town, you was running around with my homeboy. Like, they were really friends.
Yeah.
And so I feel like,
were they though?
No, but should they have been? I mean, they could have been. He could have been in the spotlight, bro. And man, you've been getting all the girls since such and such. I'm the tall one. I'm the blah blah. I'm the good one. But you find a way to. I mean, that's a whole nother movie.
Do you have any frenemies? Like, if you look in your network, and you might not have the patience for that. You might not be interested in that. But is there anybody in your circle that you have history with, but that like ain't really fucking with you?
Not now.
And you're not really fucking with them.
Not now, but I remember in high school.
Yeah,
we all kicked it. I had my homies, and this dude was not in the media circle, but we all went to school together. So we all be chilling on the basketball court together during track season. We all running track, and I just knew. And at the end of the day, he was cool. Me and him laugh, joke, we bagged on each other, we crack jokes on everybody. But out of all the homies, if the dude says something crazy to me, I'll mop the shit out this nigga.
Right.
I hated that about myself at the time. I was like, man, I like him, but I really don't like him that much.
Yeah.
Nobody at this age of my life, nobody that's around me that I'm like, when it's all said and done, I'll slap the shit out of this nigga if he say something crazy.
The reason why I ask
I know in my friendship realm that might happen. Other people
might be in that situation.
Cool, we all homies, but every now and then I feel like
he's silently hating. He The reason why I ask that is because I wonder who introduced Wood to the crew, right? Like, how did Wood become a part of that crew? Because he's not a Porsche guy. He certainly isn't a Hotep, right? So how did he even, did they go to school together? Or, did he used to work with somebody? Or did they just run into him enough times at the poetry spot that they kind of formed a kinship? Because he certainly is the oddball of the crew,
right?
But he definitely is a part of the crew. So I wonder how he even, got into the mix there.
That's a good question. That's a great question.
Like how did that happen?
That's a great question. Honestly, I feel like he would be friends with Darius more than anybody. Because Because
even him being the source of the hate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eddie Coles wouldn't hang with a guy like Eddie Coles is the voice of reason. He's a nice guy. He's just super.
It's interesting though. It's interesting because if you look at the very first scene when they're at the table, is Eddie and Wood kind of having the jokes and playing off of each other.
Let me fall back.
Okay.
And he seems very non-confrontational.
Yeah.
So I can see him bringing, because Wood is a charming guy. He's funny.
Right.
Like even when he came over to kind of holler at Nina, it would make sense that she would say yes.
Right.
If he wasn't the homies, the dude that she's dealing with, homeboy. He's a charming dude, good looking guy, tall, dark, and handsome. He got personality. He's making her laugh, and the jokes were funny.
Right.
And so, let me take you to dinner.
Yeah.
Just one dinner. Most chicks are gonna go.
Right.
Just like the other homegirl, she was like, "Oh, he's so cute. Why don't you talk to him?" Now he ain't my speed. He's not my type, but he's attractive.
Right.
So he has a big personality. He's a hater when it comes to this dude Darius, because Darius is this short, not weird looking guy, but he's just a short guy that's this dope ass poet. He's this dope ass author. He has the artistic talent that I don't have. You know what I'm saying? Hence him saying I don't need poetry to get women.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But so maybe he is Eddie's homeboy. Oh, it's my boy from work.
Yeah.
And
Eddie runs the spot, so he's probably inviting tons of people out to the spot.
Right.
You know.
And the dude's cool. He's funny. And his hate isn't as bad. But yeah, man.
It's almost kind of like I've seen this play out in many situations where the arch enemy has like the opposite superpower, right?
Yeah.
You see this play out a lot, like guys that rely upon their intelligence to get girls.
Right.
You put them with another room that uses humor to get girls,
right.
and how those guys clash because they're using a different weapon than what I normally use. So this guy's at the table being smart, being articulate,
Cornell West.
Yeah, Cornell West, the talented 10th, WEB, right? Like, you know, and this other guy's like, bitch, it's funny, laugh, joke, humor, right?
Yeah.
Like those guys rarely get along.
Truth.
Because it's almost kind of like they think the other person is a fraud.
Right.
Because the other person is finding success using
a
tool that they don't use or don't think should work. Right.
Exactly.
So maybe that's the conflict.
And Eddie Cole is the homie that brought him in. Eddie Cole is the guy that he's a nice guy. He lets everyone. He stalls everybody.
He's like
else.
Water, right?
He's
you
like,
know,
man,
very
right,
fluid.
He can be a bit much, man, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Okay,
exactly.
Yeah, that's how he got introduced. Man, this is great, bro. I could talk about this for 3 hours, man.
One big shout out before we leave to the soundtrack.
Gotta
give the
soundtrack fire.
Maybe the best movie soundtrack.
For sure.
We could do a whole nother episode just on the soundtrack. How many fists you giving this movie?
I'm giving it, 5 fists, bro.
5 fists?
5 fists.
I'm giving it 5 fists.
5 fists, bro.
Love Jones.
Love Jones is a classic.
Bank it, 5 fists.
What y'all give it?
BlackBusters. Yes.
What y'all give it? Go back and watch it. If you haven't watched it, if you watched it a long time ago, go watch it again. If you haven't seen it before, watch it and ask yourself if we did a good job in breaking this movie down.
Absolutely.
All right.
We're going to be here every week.
Every week, man, for sure.
Yes, sir.
BlackBusters, my boy Tone. I'm your boy Bigg Jah. You know what I'm saying? We did it. We did our thing. We had fun, man. Yeah. Until next time.
We'll see y'all next time.
To the max. BlackBusters.